Ain't got nothing what you doing with what you owe, because God's not asking you to do what you used to do at 20. He's asking you to do what you can do at your age now.
Amen.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And so if you're running around trying to still do what you did at 20, then that's your fault. Because you haven't made the adjustment. So let's look at this by way of introduction. We're going to look at the text. Well, let me walk it all the way up so we won't miss nothing when we get into 24. So Isaac has grown up. Sarah's dead now. Mama dead. And Isaac's tripping because he loved his mama. You know, and he wandering around, he acting, he ain't acting himself. And so Abraham, being wise, he like, man, we got to get this guy together. So how can we get him together? Well, let's get him married. So Abraham, being the father of the family, if you know anything about that culture, they didn't get to pick who they married. The father set it up. He went and got him a bride, told him when he could go get her and everything. That's the reason why we, as the bride of Christ, we waiting on our bridegroom to come get us. And he cannot come until God says it's time. Because that's how it was set up. God would set up the arrangements through the father. The father would pick him a bride or send somebody to pick him a bride. He would get engaged. He would go away, prepare a place for the bride. Daddy would come, check it out, make sure everything was okay, and then say, all right, go ahead, you can go get your bride. Same setup. That's why you got to know the culture of the time so you won't put your 21st century eyes on it. Because in our 21st century eyes, we pick whoever we want to. But in this culture, you didn't pick, you was appointed.
Right.
Your husband was appointed. Your wife was appointed. You pick who you wanted to marry. So the question is, are you married to your appointment? Lord, let me get out of here. Did you pick them or did God send them? It makes a big difference. Because who you with either can set you up or set you back. That's why your head got to be in the game. So, I love you, you fine. Well, she ain't going to be fine 60 years. She going to be old. And you is too. So pretty is not the balance. How fine you is ain't the balance of it. What kind of person am I dealing with here?
Amen.
Somebody say something crazy to you, boy, they get ugly fast. I've heard it in marriage. Your ugly self. Go on out of here. Yeah? You didn't say that at the altar. All right. So 12. Before we get there, he goes and he gets Eliezer, who's the chief servant. He's basically the administrator. He's the guy that's running everything for Abraham. He runs it through Eliezer. He's the chief, right? He's the person, his delegated authority. Abram 140. He can't do everything he used to do. He's wise enough to know I need some help. So he tells Eliezer, he said, I want you to come in here because I need you to go do a special task for me. And the special task is I need you to go find me a wife for my son. So he makes him put his hand, because they made promises by he slid his hand under his thigh. And he said, swear to me that you're going to take care of this. Right? Same thing we do with God. God asks you to take care of it. Lord, I'm going to do it. You ain't did it yet. But he said, go out and find my son a wife. Then he told him, he said, and what I want you to do, I want you to make sure you don't take her from these girls. Canaanite women, and Canaanite women something else. So I want you to go back to my hometown. Get one of my home girls, because I know they cut from the same cloth I'm cut from. And I want my son to be married with somebody that's cut from the cloth I'm cut from. Lord have mercy, because them Canaanite women, God had to eventually put them out. You always got Canaanites around. So let's look at 12. This where's the setup. He's doing what he promised Abraham he was going to do, and he done journeyed off, and he's ended up back in Abraham's hometown of Haran, right? And he says, O Lord of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast what? Appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master. Man, I know in class, I know y'all dealt with this prayer. Because this prayer is deep. This ain't no, Lord, just show it to me. Lord, let her have on a blue hat. No. He wanted to make sure that this is, because he's the chief for a reason. He's the chief because he's detailed. And he's the kind of person, when you're a chief, you don't want to do stuff twice. I'm the same way when it comes to me. I don't like to repeat myself twice because it insinuates you didn't hear me. Right? Repeating myself is wasting time. I mean, either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. So he says, look, Lord, this is how I'm going to ask you. I'm going to go detail with God. So when it does happen, I'm going to know for sure that it was God. And when you get an assignment, a high assignment, you better make sure you hear from God before you start jumping out the tree. That's why a lot of people in the positions that they're in right now, because they never consulted God about the choice that they made, and now they're dealing with the repercussions of the choice, and now it's everybody's fault except for you, because you never went detailed to God. You just told God vaguely what you wanted, and so he sent you anything. If you don't know what you want, anything to do. If you don't know how much money you want, then any money, it don't matter how much you want. If you don't know what kind of man you want, then any man to do. If you don't know what kind of job you want, then you can't vaguely say. You got to tell God what it is you want. And you can't tell him what you want if you don't know what you want. This man knew. He knew exactly what he wanted. He said, this is how I want this whole scenario to play out, God. And when it play out, then I know you sent it. And watch this. He went to go to 15. Because we already dealt with the fact that your significant other should be appointed. And the reason why they should be appointed is because marriage is not just for you to feel good. Marriage is a ministry. Amen. And marriage takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes concentration, because marriage don't just happen just because y'all got married. My Lord. How many folks plan the wedding but never plan the marriage? And then because you marry out of a need, and then when they can't meet the need no more, you don't want to be married no more. Because you got married on a need basis. You married brother because he was working in the plant and had money. Amen. Not realizing one day he might not be working in the plant no more. What happened if he get fired? What if he just work at the plant for a front, but he really selling dope? You got to know all this stuff because you as a believer, you're involved in a ministry. And if you're involved in the ministry, they need to be able to be a teammate as well as a lover, as well as a helper. Amen. It takes a lot of work, and it ain't for everybody. Because if you can't deal with one person for the rest of your life, marriage ain't for you. Because forever is a long time. Right? It ain't just when you feel good. It ain't just when you want to do it. It's most of the time is when you don't want to do it. Because the measure is not when stuff going well. The measure is when it's not going well. Anybody can kick it when everybody got money and everybody healthy and everybody living good, feeling good. What happened if one of them gets sick and you got to take care of it? What happened if something happened and they need to move mountain on you? See, all that stuff. Lord have mercy. Still got to date them. You can't just marry somebody and then stop doing everything you was doing when you was trying to get them. You was shining your shoes, cleaning your car, brushing your teeth. Now you want to kiss, you ain't brush your teeth. You ain't washed your face. You're wearing that same robe, same pajamas for the last 12 years, man. Oh my God. And y'all wearing the same 6 ties on your head and all that kind of stuff. Go to bed, head, all this on your head. Get your hair done, and who you get it done for? You wrap it up, I can't see it. Okay, I'm just having fun. So 15, it came to pass. Watch this. It came to pass before he had done speaking that, behold, Rebekah came out. Yeah. Who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Now, we don't marry family in our culture. No. But then, everybody was kinfolk back, so it didn't really matter. See, that was the problem they had with Moses, because Moses married that black girl. He sent that Cushite woman, man. They had a problem with that. Because this wasn't just a black girl. This was a black girl. Because she was from Ethiopia. Yeah. And they had a problem with that. Not that, because God was never a racial God. He was a cultural God. That's why Abraham said, I don't want him with a Canaanite woman. Not because they were a certain color. It was certain practices and stuff that they got down with that they didn't. That's the unequally yoked part. Because you might be a Bible-toting, Bible school teacher. You can't marry no hood rat that's still in the club. Because you're going to want to study and she going to want to turn up. You trying to study and she got on music like, I want to dance, I'm going out. So you gotta be yoked to the person because y'all gotta work together. And if you spend, all right. Let me get out of there. I'm just saying it's all in here. That's why it took me so long to study it. So Rebecca came right out, and the damsel was very fair to look upon. That just means she was fine. She was all check marks. She checking all the boxes. She fine, check. She working, check. She a virgin, check. She had never fooled around with no man. So she wasn't just a virgin. She was a virgin. She was a pure virgin. So she done checked all the boxes. So now he's looking because he's made this prayer. And remember what I told you. When you pray, you ought to get up and start watching what God, start watching the signs. Who did God send around you? Who called? Who did this? Who came to the door? Because now God's starting to set it up based on what you asked and based on his will for your life. So you can't just pray and then don't pay attention. You got to pray and pay attention. So he's watching all this because he's made all these details. And 17 says, and the servant ran up to meet her and he said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water out of your pitcher. And she said, drink, my lord. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. So you see a few things going on here. Number one, don't get the Lord thing so mixed up because people love that. She called him Lord. That's like calling me baby. Go ahead and get drink, baby. Just the lingo for the day, right? Yeah, she humble, but it wasn't a big deal. It's a big deal now if your wife calling you Lord. You let one of these women hear your wife call you Lord at HEB. You want some chips, my Lord? People be calling on you, you'll be on the internet. So he sees that she's checked another box. What is the other box that she checked? She knew how to be respectful. Right. She didn't have to do it. She could have been evil. She could have been mean and been like, I don't know you. Why don't you ask somebody else? Because he's at the well. That's where the women are. So he's smart enough for God to lead him to the well. Why? Because all the women coming to the well at some time during the day. And what does that point mean? That means that if you want something from God, you got to go where it's being administered. Ain't no need of you asking God for a car and you at the mall at the shoe house trying to get shoes. If you ask for a car, you need to be looking for a car at the car lot. Because that's where the blessing going to be, because that's what you asked for. You can't get a car and you're shopping for shoes. You got to go where the blessing's being administered at. Lord, I'm hungry. Okay, if you're hungry, go somewhere where they serve food. And then I can open up the door and they'll feed you too. Yes. Lord, have mercy. So watch this. And when she had done giving him drink, she said, I will draw water for your camels also until they are done drinking. And she hasted, emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again unto the well to draw water, and drew it for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit whether the Lord had made his journey prosperous or not. He like, this quick, Lord. He probably, let me eisegete it. He probably was thinking, shoot, I might take off myself. I mean, you done gave me something to drink. You done called me Lord. You done got all, you ain't did your work. You done did my work. You done fed my camels. He like, this ain't no lazy woman. So he's looking around going, man, that was fast, Lord. I thought it was going to be harder than this. So he's pondering going, man, should I really think about looking at somebody else, or did God just knock this out of the way? Because he prayed to Abraham's God, and he prayed for Abraham. He asked nothing for himself. Everything he's doing for somebody, he's doing for Abraham. Yes. Because he understands, and blessing Abraham, I'm blessing myself. Yes. Why? Because you can't beat God-given. And you can't look at it like I'm doing it. You got to look at it as I'm doing it for God, which means if I take care of God's business, he's going to take care of mine. Lord, that's a good principle. Yeah. And he said, let's go. And then it switched over to 61. And y'all know the story. Y'all know she coming. Because how's she not going to come? God's setting this up. And he's building everybody's faith, but he's doing it as a gift for his friend, Abraham.
Yes.
And there is nothing that God won't do for his friends and for his children. Nothing. And this is a big deal to God that Abraham understands, I still got your back. I'm going to have your kids back. And I'm going to have your kids' back. Because I told you, if you look out amongst the stars or the sand of the sea, they won't be able to count your kids. Well, you can't have kids if you don't have a woman. There's only one virgin birth. Ain't meant one virgin birth. So other than that, that means Abraham going to have to put in a lot of work. And if you read Abraham's life, at 140, Abraham married like 6 more women. He had plenty more kids.
My God.
Lord have mercy. Y'all get all quiet when we talk about sexuality here. Why is that? Y'all old enough? The kids in the bag. Y'all grown. Y'all good and grown. Sexuality is a part of life. It's a part of marriage. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to come to grips with it, whatever stage you find yourself in, because you can't hide from it because it's going to rear its head. And now they making Viagra and everything, so, you know, people well into they... I mean, I don't like imagining my grandparents like that, but my dad and them had to get his some kind of way. So 61. And Rebekah arose, and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels, and they followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah, and he went on his way. I'm almost done. And Isaac came out from the way of the well of Lahairoi, for he dwelt in the south country. He down southeast Texas. He down south. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes, and he saw and beheld the camels was coming.
Yes.
And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw, she lighted off her camel. Sound like one of them old Harlequin romances, like where the moving slow, and she on the horse with the wind, and he out there. That's exactly how this going down. Because remember what I told you. Isaac is dealing with some depression because he's dealing with the fact that his mama is dead. And so he's dealing with these issues, and now here comes Eleazar, because Eleazar been gone a while, and you know Eleazar and Isaac, they probably had a good relationship because he's the closest thing to his dad. And if men, you know anything, you always have a confidant, somebody you can holler at when you're going through something. So here comes Eleazar, he sees the camel, he knows he's coming. Look at this. And 65, for she said unto her servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant said, he my master.
Yeah.
And therefore she took her veil and she covered herself. She said, ooh, look at this. Now he done already seen her. And he done stopped in his tracks. And she done seen him. Why am I bringing this out? Because God will always give you the sign to let you know this finna happen. This finna happen. This ain't coincidence. This is God saying, if God appointed it, God put it together, you ain't got to go through a whole lot. All you got to do is look in the field. You'll see him.
Yeah.
And guess what? He ain't just see her. She saw him too. Ooh, I wish I could go. Ooh. But y'all acting funny today, so I ain't going to go that deep into it. Because sometimes a look can tell you a lot. Sometimes you ain't got to talk to say what you need to say.
That's true.
Oh, that's a deeper situation. 66, I'm almost done. And the servant told Isaac all the things he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted. Watch this. After what? His mother's death. So he was blessing Abraham. Abraham was blessing Isaac. Eleazar was trying to bless Abraham. And so watch what happens when everybody else trying to take care of somebody else. Everybody's need got met. Because Abraham wanted to comfort Isaac because Isaac is depressed. So he sends his chief to get him a wife. So at the end, Rebekah satisfied, Isaac satisfied, Abram satisfied, Eleazar satisfied. And it all started by one person being obedient.
Yes.
It doesn't take everybody to do what you need to do. All you got to do is do what God told you to do.
That's right.
The problem we have in the world so many times is that you trying to worry about everybody else stuff and trying to get everybody else together, and then you don't have time to get your own stuff together. Now everybody else looking good, here you are raggedy running out the house. Because you took all your time getting everybody else together. But mama had good sense because mama got herself together first.
Yes.
And then took care of everybody else. Because how you going to take care of everybody else and you not ready?
My Lord.
That's why I tell you on Saturday is a good day for you to start getting ready because you never know what God going to have you doing on Sunday because Sunday for the Christian is a work day.
Yes.
Especially if you in leadership.
Yes.
You can't be sitting around ready to get pumped up. You got to show up pumped up. You got to show up prayed up. You can't be waiting on folk to get you ready for God. You should have been with God all week anyway. So as I close in conclusion, he's saying, make a decision. Why did they name it make a decision? Because everybody had to make a decision on what they were going to do. And instead of looking out for their own self, they decided to take care of God's business. Take care of somebody else's business. And guess what it did? It came all the way back around. And you know what? Even if God never take care of you, you got way more than you would have had doing it by yourself. Show me something in your life that God didn't give you. And I'm going to tell you to take it back. Because if God didn't give it to you, he probably stole it. Lord. All right, so here's the takeaway from it. The takeaway is every day in your life, God gives you the power of choice. And you can either ascend in God or you can descend in God. And it all depends on your choice. Story, and I'm out. Prime example, I'm going to use myself. I'm going to be transparent. I wake up in the morning, I'll be ready. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get anything done just because I feel ready. I get up, I be pumped up. Oh, it's going to be a good day in the Lord. Before you know it, if I make a bad choice, I'm in the house all day. If I sit on that couch and get to watching Undisputed and Sports Center, have me a big hearty breakfast. It don't care what I had planned on doing. And a lot of times I got to get up and get back in the bed and restart because sometimes I get up on 20 and I'm mad. Ain't nobody did nothing to me. I just get up in a bad mood. And I say, let me put my break, get on back in, and get back up on the other side. Because I know it's all about the decisions that I have to make. And you got to make them all day, every day. And it either take you higher or it take you lower. It never takes you neutral, right? If you say I'm going to work today, you either going or you're not. Now, if you choose not to go, that ain't going to be very productive because that's going to take some money out your pocket. So you make the decision by getting up with the small things. Watch this. I'm going to get up. I ain't going to go brush my teeth first. I'm going to get on my knees.
Amen.
God don't care how your breath smells. Get on your knees and pray. Because how you know God wants you to brush your teeth first? You might want to do something else first. So I get up and I say, how do I make my choices easier? By checking with God.
Yes, yes.
That's what Eleazar did when he went and got that wife. He didn't just start picking women. He prayed to God. And he said, God, show me. And that's all you got to do in your everyday life. God, show me what I need to do today. God, show me who I need to be around today. Lord, help me to hold my tongue at work. Lord, help me to have energy today. Lord, show me what I should eat today. Lord, show me how to get myself healthy. And God says, if you come to me, I will do it. Because that's the kind of God that he is. He's always setting up things in your life so that he can be God in your life. He wants to put you off the throne and put himself on the throne. And so he brings all these things in your life so you can go to him and say, Lord, I need you to help me sort this stuff out. And then the more you do that, the better God is with you. Doors of the church is open. I turn